I got some really great news for me. The bug, you might hear it. It started. I got it all started. The little problems have been sorted out. I have the fuel pump working. Turned out it was just a pinched fuel line, and I got a steering wheel on it. I got the driver's seat in, and I'm able to take it for a ride. I just started it up just now, just letting it warm up. I want to do short heat cycles and let it warm up, turn it off, let it cool back down. Just short heat cycles, so that this is a brand new rebuild on this motor, and I want it to be broken in properly. So I think the altitude up here is affecting it just a little bit, because I can hear like the idle's a little bit high right now. And with a carbureted motor like this, the air-fuel ratio goes up and down depending on your altitude that you're at. So we're up really high. As you can see, there's aspen trees all the way around. Aspen trees are only at a pretty high altitude. We're at about 8,500 feet right here. So it's not exactly the right, it's not tuned exactly right for this altitude. When someone buys a bug, they typically tune it for the altitude that they live at. You may have to rejet the carburetor, put a little bit bigger or a little smaller jet in, depending on what kind of elevation you're living at. So let me show you around a little bit. All right, so I got the steering wheel on. It's all bolted in. No more wooden plank for a steering wheel. Feels great. I want to get a cover for this and just cover this up for now. Eventually I would like to get it leather wrapped with a nice, refinished leather steering wheel. And then the seat looks absolutely horrible. It's got this Volkswagen horsehair, which is just terrible. It needs to be reupholstered, but it's in there and it works. So we're good to go. Let's check out this motor. It's so nice that it just idles. I can turn it on, walk away from it, and it idles just like it should. So I'm gonna go ahead and get in here, turn the car off. Yeah, it's heated up enough. So what I want to do is just do heat cycles. I want it to come all the way up to operating temperature, turn it off, let it cool down fully. That really helps the rings seat nicely and everything get lubricated in the motor like it should be. So I'm not going to take it for a drive. One thing I need to do is I need to bolt this body to the chassis. So I don't know if you know, but let me show you. In a Volkswagen, this is down near the floorboard on the passenger side. The red part is the body, and the black part is the frame, the chassis of the bug. So if I was to lift up on this body, that red part would just separate. And it's not bolted to the chassis right now. I have all the hardware and a seal that goes in between. You can see a little bit of that seal sticking out right here, but it needs a new seal, and it needs new hardware to go in there. And I can't really drive it because every time I go over a bump, this body kind of bounces up off of the chassis, so it's very unnerving feeling. But other than that, it's doing great. Even the speedometer worked. I took it out on the highway for just a short drive yesterday. I was able to get up to 60 miles an hour, had plenty of power, definitely way better than when this motor was in the Baja Bug. It's a huge improvement over the way it was running in the Baja. It had been sitting in a field, sitting there, no attention in the Arizona sun and heat and snow, because we're up here in Flagstaff. And I've been sitting there for 10 years, not running, and some rust had formed in one of the cylinders pretty bad. And it was just a tired, clapped out old motor. I got a couple 100 miles out of it, and then it threw in the towel, and it needed a rebuild. So that's what's in this now. It's had a full, nice rebuild on it, and I'm just breaking it in. This is my stock Volkswagen Beetle. It's all stock, body's stock, interior, everything, no roll cage or no cutaway parts or anything like that. So I thought it was way better fit to put the 1600 dual port air-cooled Volkswagen motor back in this car because that's appropriate for this car, is a Volkswagen 1600cc. So I decided to put that motor in this car, and I'll be doing something different with the Baja. Stay tuned. There's something really exciting coming up for the Baja, something wild. So the Baja is the one I'm going to be keeping and towing behind my bread truck, and that'll be my little dinghy, my little off-road adventure vehicle and tow vehicle, grocery getter, whatever. But it's good. This red bug is coming along quite nicely. It needs a wash. It got really dirty down these Forest Service roads out here in Flagstaff, but man, it's great. So here you can see I have temporarily a rubber fuel line. This is good for up to 50 psi, and there's only about 3 psi going through this line, but this was pinched off. It was kind of stuck between the body and it had gotten pinched. So that was my problem with the fuel pump, and I had to take that down, and I'll be replacing that with a metal line like it's supposed to be as soon as I can. So it's coming along, man. I took it for a nice little ride yesterday. I'm super happy with it. All right, well, thanks for checking out this video. I'll catch you on the flip-flop, and see you soon. Bye. It works! It works! Yeah, buddy! It doesn't work real great yet, but it works. The body is not bolted down to the pan, so every bump I take, I can feel it bouncing off of the chassis. But I can drive it around a little bit. It definitely works, and I am stoked. This is the first time I've ever driven this car. It's so great. Heck yeah. We did a little tinkering around. We found out that the fuel line was just pinched, and that was the reason for it not getting any fuel. So we took care of that problem. We put a steering wheel on it. Look at that brand new steering wheel. How nice is that? And now it runs and drives and does all the things. Oh, buddy. Well, you can't go very fast in it.